It's the time of suspicion. The ending's really tough.
You don't know whether truth is going to be difficult to find unless you try to find it.
I risked my life. I put my family in danger. If I was caught, they would have put a bullet in my head. It was the right thing to do. It was the only thing to do.
Terror plot foiled in Garden City, Kansas.
That would have been one of the most deadly acts of domestic terrorism ever in the United States. It would have been Oklahoma City.
He put his family, himself, in jeopardy for us.
They were a killing team.
A mother and daughter poisoning her family members.
I mean, this is unheard of. Who does that?
I knew they were drinking antifreeze.
What? Nobody just drinks antifreeze.
It's incredible.
They never talked publicly until now. How is it that you could kill your own family?
There's more to that than what people know.
What is the truth, Diane?
The new 2020, tonight at 9/8 Central on ABC.
The hottest news in daytime are happening right here.
We talk about things on this show that people don't talk about.
That I can't wait to see.
Honest takes from strong women.
We need all hands on deck, and we need it right now. This is the time to speak out.
Unafraid to get real.
To stick by our points of view.
We're all seeing it differently, and that's the beauty of The View.
And that's why the most watched #1 daytime talk show is The View. Now streaming on ABC News Live.
This is what being live is all about. This is ABC News Live.
All right, we're going to move. Let's move on. We're surrounded by people squeezing into this bomb shelter.
Run, urgent delivery, run.
Not afraid to go there.
So my question, Mr. President, what are you so afraid of?
Breaking news, live events.
This is the moment.
Streaming straight to you, anytime, anywhere.
You just met one friend right here.
You're watching ABC News Live. Thanks for streaming with us.
Tonight, that major winter storm moving off the northeast coast now, and the bitter cold moving in after. Wind chills in the mid-20s to below zero tomorrow morning, in the teens from Philadelphia up to New York, single digits in Boston. But next week, the first week of March, we'll see above average temperatures from Southern California to New York. When we come back on a Friday night, the Russian tennis star and what he wrote on that camera lens, a message for Putin tonight.
More Americans choose ABC News, America's #1 news source. Take America's #1 news with you, anywhere you go, anytime, free. Download the ABC News app now. Breaking news, exclusives, 24/7, there for you with one touch. The ABC News app, download it now.
It was a scary time.
In the 70s, you had multiple bodies showing up in Los Angeles.
There were so many murders happening. Had to have a name for it. Serial killer.
There was a human head in there. This was premeditated evil.
We have this clock. This person is going to do this again.
It's me against the killer. Who's going to win?
We'll see who laughs last.
What came next was unlike anything they had ever seen.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do? I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 12 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Christopher Steele.
The guy who picked a fight with 2 presidents, and he's lived to tell the tale. That now infamous dossier.
Supposedly a tape-showing prostitute hired by Donald Trump urinating on a bed, and would be quite a tape if it in fact existed.
I said take out the PP tape.
It quickly became a question of how much of this was accurate.
This is the stuff of movies.
A lot of this is the stuff of movies. Story of epic proportions.
Phony stuff.
It's a bunch of crap.
It changed history.
The deeper you go into black markets, the darker it gets.
Traffic, Wednesdays at 9 on National Geographic.
Quite an image tonight. Russian tennis star Andrei Rublev winning his semifinal match during a tournament. This was in Dubai. Then writing right here on the lens, "No war, please," on the camera. He said it's important to have peace in the world and to respect each other no matter what, to be united. Here's the view from the other side tonight. Of course, that message to Putin. When we come back here from Paris to London to New York City tonight, the message in lights.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any place else. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast, now streaming on ABC News Live.
I risked my life. I put my family in danger. If I was caught, they would have put a bullet in my head. But it was the right thing to do. It was the only thing to do.
Terror plot foiled in Garden City, Kansas.
That would have been one of the most deadly acts of domestic terrorism ever in the United States. It would have been Oklahoma City.
He put his family, himself, in jeopardy for us.
24 Hours, Assault on the Capitol, the ABC News original, exclusively on Hulu, now streaming. This is what being live is all about. This is ABC News Live.
All right, we're going to move on. We're surrounded by people squeezing into this bomb shelter.
Run, urgent delivery, run.
Not afraid to go there.
So my question, Mr. President, what are you so afraid of?
Breaking news, live events.
This is the moment.
Streaming straight to you, anytime, anywhere.
You just met one friend right here.
You're watching ABC News Live. Thanks for streaming with us.
National parks are incredibly safe places. A crime will happen.
My wife is cold. She's in really critical condition.
At that time, I thought it was just a tragic accident.
There's still a lot of questions we need to ask.
There were small things that didn't totally add up.
This is too high for Harold. That have died now. I was shocked. Something's not right.
The deeper you go into black markets, the darker it gets.
Traffic, Wednesdays at 9 on National Geographic.
A final note tonight. Around the world, a show of solidarity in lights. In Paris, the Eiffel Tower lit in blue and yellow, the colors of the Ukrainian flag. In Rome, the Colosseum. In England, the London Eye. And tonight in New York, the Empire State Building, in Ukraine's colors too. Thank you for watching on a very heavy week. Lindsay and Whit here this weekend. I'll see you Monday. Good night.
The deeper you go into black markets, the darker it gets.
Traffic, Wednesdays at 9 on National Geographic. Are you ready for what incredible feel-good surprise to start your Monday morning?
Mondays are my absolute favorite day.
Well, Quinta Brunson from the Smash It Abbott Elementary, together with Robin Roberts, are ready.
That is incredible.
Wait till you see the surprise one amazing teacher and her school are about to get live on a GMA Feel-Good Monday on ABC's Good Morning America. Are you ready for what incredible feel-good surprise to start your Monday morning?
Mondays are my absolute favorite day.
Well, Quinta Brunson from the Smash It Abbott Elementary, together with Robin Roberts, are ready.
That is incredible.
Wait till you see the surprise one amazing teacher and her school are about to get live on a GMA Feel-Good Monday on ABC's Good Morning America.
Right now, with so much at stake, Sunday mornings, this is the place. Taking on all the tough questions. Straightforward reporting. No spin, no hype, no bull. Thank you for making ABC's This Week with George Stephanopoulos the #1 Sunday morning news show versus the competition.
Welcome to This Week.
This is American history. A violent white mob, a brutal attack. 300 black Americans killed right here in America. Now, it is time to uncover Tulsa's buried truth. The gripping story brought to light in a new podcast from ABC News. Available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app.
This is what being live is all about. This is ABC News Live.
We're surrounded by people squeezing into this bomb shelter.
Run, urgent delivery, run.
Not afraid to go there.
So my question, Mr. President, what are you so afraid of?
Breaking news, live events.
This is the moment.
Streaming straight to you, anytime, anywhere.
You just met one friend right here.
You're watching ABC News Live. Thanks for streaming with us.
We have been putting the bat signal up all week here in Times Square. And this morning, not only is Batman answering the call, he's got Catwoman with him too. The stars of The Batman, Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz, are joining us live from London. Good morning. Great to see you both. And, you know, we're excited to have you. Good morning. We're excited to have you both on the show. And everybody's so excited for this movie to come out. But, Zoe, I don't think anybody's as excited as your dad, because I hear he's been running around telling everybody that the movie is called Catwoman.
Yes, I know. It's really sweet. He keeps on saying, you know, when Catwoman comes out, and I keep on having to be like, Dad, it's the Batman. I know you love me, but it's the Batman.
And Robert,
in parentheses, Catwoman.
and Robert, is your family equally as excited for this movie to come out with you, starring as the lead?
They're very, very excited. I think they still can't really believe that it's actually happening. They're all going to see it in New York next week.
They're also calling it the Catwoman.
And you guys have known each other for years. This is actually the first time that you're working together on screen. Did that make you, the chemistry really pop for you?
I mean, I guess she's already seen me at my worst in social situations, so you know, it's easier to not get so embarrassed. I mean, especially with such an iconic character. I mean, with your screen test with me, I was still thinking I was going to get fired, even though I'd already got the job. And so knowing that she wasn't going to judge me too harshly and would give me a second chance was kind of nice.
I was just impressed that I was able to forget that it was Rob, and he put on the suit, and I would just see Batman. And when you know somebody, it's sometimes really hard. And I thought it was amazing that he was able to completely transform into Batman.
Let's take a look at a clip.
You're pretty good at that. Wow. So is it true that was the first scene you guys filmed together?
Yes. It was a very intense way to censor
Right, just listening to only the audio.
Yeah, I got to only hear. We trained for about a month together learning the fight choreography, and then we jumped right in. It's an intense way to start a movie.
Well, good thing you guys knew each other beforehand.
Honestly, yeah, it made it easier to handle Rob sweating all over my face.
She's also.
And Rob, and Zoe said it earlier, when you put on the Batman suit, you completely transformed. So how was it practically to move around in that suit once you put it on? Because I know you mentioned that you felt different yourself, but was it easy to move around and do all those things in it?
It was. I auditioned in George Clooney's Batsuit, and you have all your plans of how you want to play the part, and it's when I put that suit on, I was absolutely terrified about doing the movie because I was sweating in the suit I had, in the Clooney suit. It was like, you had zero liquids left in your body. But when I put on the one I had made for me, it's so incredibly well designed, and considering it's pretty heavy, it's probably about 60 pounds, but it was so well articulated that you could. I mean, the first thing, as soon as I put it on, you start doing. What do we? I keep forgetting. I keep saying roly-polies because I don't know.
Oh yeah, well, are they cartwheels? He started doing cartwheels.
I keep trying to figure out the American translation.
I think it's just rolling around. I think it's just rolling around on the floor.
Okay. So
First thing I did is I'm gonna fall on the floor.
How does something like that happen? You go up to George Clooney and say, "Hey, can I borrow your suit?"
He's on the Batman text chain
I'm like,
now.
George, I've got an audition. I need that suit quick. He's got it.
So were you a fan?
No, I had to.
No, go ahead.
yeah, no, I had to try on all of the different suits, and you basically, I think it's all about your head size, and so you get to figure out what size head Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, King's head is, and Christian's head is, and how it corresponds to the size of their body. I know what George Clooney's inseam is very closely.
How about for Catwoman, Batman, Zoe? Were you a fan growing up?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I grew up, from Eartha Kitt to Michelle Pfeiffer, and The Dark Knight was one of my favorite films. I've loved this world for a really long time.
And Robert, how about you? Big Batman fan? Were you dreaming of this as a little boy?
I mean, I think it's quite difficult to imagine that one day you're going to end up playing Batman. But I was looking for a picture of, as I remember having a little batsuit when I was a kid, and I was looking for a picture so I could kind of like show it as like a cute little story on talk shows and stuff. And then I found that there's about 50 different pictures over a period of about 6 years. So I feel like I was wearing the batsuit until it was way too small for me, and very, very bobbly and dirty.
But I tell you what, you two are both fantastic in the movie. I've been saying it all week. I had a chance to see it, and I'm excited for everybody else to get a chance to see it as well. Thank you both for joining us from London. We appreciate you both. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. The Batman will be in theaters next Friday. Make sure you get a chance to check it out.
As dawn broke in Ukraine Thursday with the sound of air raid sirens in Kyiv and the sight of bombed-out wreckage dotting the countryside, UEFA, European football's governing body, had reached a conclusion. Russia could no longer host one of the biggest sporting events in the world, the Champions League final, which would have taken place in St. Petersburg in May. The action expected to become official Friday.
This is basically a war in Europe, and obviously UEFA is the governing body of European football. It's on UEFA's doorstep. It's so close to home, and it couldn't be seen to be passive on this.
FIFA putting out a statement today saying in part it condemns the use of force by Russia and Ukraine and any type of violence to resolve conflicts. Russia's opponents in upcoming World Cup playoffs, the Polish, Czech, and Swedish football associations telling FIFA today they will not travel to Russia due to safety concerns, and they want immediate action over alternate locations. FIFA may go even further.
So you're saying that there is a possibility that Russia could be excluded from World Cup competition?
Absolutely. Russia at the moment are being seen by every Western nation as a pariah state, and that has been a situation in the sporting world in recent years.
Clubs including German team Schalke and F1 team Haas have announced plans to remove Russian sponsorship, and there are questions about the Russian Formula One Grand Prix scheduled this September in Sochi. Reigning champ Max Verstappen saying it would not be correct to race in a country at war.
I'm calling to all the international partners to observe this strategy that is happening nowadays in Ukraine and this senseless war, which is not going to have any winners.
That was Vladimir Klitschko, the former heavyweight champion who joined Ukraine's army reserves about a month ago and could be pressed into duty. Alongside him, his brother Vitaly, also a former heavyweight champion and current mayor of Kyiv, who says he'll be taking up arms against Russia. The fight in Ukraine, it appears, has just begun. I'm Michelle Steele, ESPN.
The most powerful stories of our time, anytime. Nightline.
Now streaming on ABC News Live 2020. True crime, cinematic, real-life drama, stunning, the unthinkable. Follow the clues, The Hunt, True Crime 2020. Now streaming on ABC News Live.
National parks are incredibly safe places. A crime will happen.
My wife is fallen. She's in really critical condition.
At that time, I thought it was just a tragic accident.
There's still a lot of questions we need to ask.
There were small things that didn't totally add up.
This is 2 live for Harold that have died now. I was shocked. Something's not right.
Admit it. These days, what you need to know
seems to change just about every day.
What is it that you really want to know, need to know?
To help you not just get through your day,
but to make the most of it. Feel smarter.
Feel better.
Feel happier.
Well, how about a third hour of Good Morning America?
GMA 3, what you need to know. Now streaming on ABC News Live. It's all about you.
I know what happened, and I'm not guilty.
Why the fascination with criminal trials? Figure out what's really out there.
She revealed she had murdered his family.
I know in my heart they did this.
It's the time of suspicion. The ending's really tough.
You don't know when the truth is going to be difficult to find, unless you try to find it.
This is what being live is all about. This is ABC News Live.
All right, we're gonna move up. We're surrounded by people squeezing into the bomb shelter.
Run, urgent delivery, run.
Not afraid to go there.
So my question, Mr. President, what are you so afraid of?
Breaking news, live events.
This is the moment.
Streaming straight to you, anytime, anywhere.
You just met one friend right here.
You're watching ABC News Live. Thanks for streaming with us.
Are you ready for what incredible feel-good surprise to start your Monday morning?
Mondays are my absolute favorite day.
Well, Quinta Brunson from the Smash It Abbott Elementary, together with Robin Roberts, are ready.
That is incredible.
Wait till you see the surprise one amazing teacher and her school are about to get live on a GMA Feel Good Monday on ABC's Good Morning America.
ABC News, America's #1 news source.
I want to introduce you to our new series called Podcast of the Month. And we're going to sift through all the podcast charts and recommendations, true crime, comedy news, bring you what's the best out there. And we're going to kick it off with this. The name of this podcast is Black Man Can't Jump in Hollywood. This is a comedic podcast hosted by three friends who review films with leading actors of color. They analyze them through the lens of race and diversity in Hollywood. So check this out.
I liked the fact that they were able to contain this somehow, and it was like, oh yeah, the zombie wars, and it was treated as if it was this thing, this horrible thing that happened, but then everybody else is going about their day, kind of. It's over now.
Wait, are you talking about because that doesn't exist in real life? You saying a very tragic, scary event happened on American soil, and then maybe a month or two later, people are like, huh, we're fine with it. We don't want to investigate or care about it. Is that what you're saying?
That is what I'm saying.
Y'all are laughing at yourselves listening to you here, man. There they are, the hosts, Jonathan Braylock and Gerard Milligan and James III. Fellas, good to have you all here. And you're not just having fun with and poking fun at some movies here. Let me start with you, Gerard. You're actually putting some of these movies through the ringer of their failures when it comes to race.
Look, we like to talk about movies in just a context that doesn't help. Sometimes we talk about movies that Hollywood loves that actually doesn't make black people look good. They like to pat themselves on the back, and we like to say, calm down for a second. You can do better. That's our job.
So Jonathan, to that point there could be a movie that's a huge hit that might even make an actor, a person of color, a huge star, but it could be doing damage to the community when it comes to perceptions and stereotypes. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think that is fair. I mean, it's no mystery that there are stereotypes in Hollywood, and there are certain roles that, for instance, the Academy might show hey, if a black person plays a slave, you don't get nominated for an Oscar, And it's okay, it's not like we can't tell some of those stories. When those are the only stories we get to tell, when it's only a servant or a maid, or the magical Negro character, as we like to talk about, that becomes a problem. So that's one of the things we discuss on our podcast.
And James, he said it there somewhat jokingly, but these are conversations that me and a lot of black folks around me always have. We got you got an Oscar nomination, but you had to be the housemaid. Now, how do you, in doing the podcast now, do you find yourself unable to watch a movie without putting it through a critical lens? Are you always a critic in this way now?
Absolutely. I love the Marvel movies, for instance, and I want to just watch them, and I just want to watch superheroes beating up supervillains. That's all I want to do. I want to watch that. But, we watch Infinity War, and at the end of Infinity War, the final battle takes place in Wakanda. And we had to talk about, what are the ramifications of seeing a bunch of black bodies being obliterated at the end of this movie. I just want to enjoy it. I want to have a good time.
No, you make a very good point, man. A very good point. So, Gerard, let me get back to you. Do you have other examples? Well, for all of you, you might have a great example out there of a movie that maybe other people outside of our community might see one way, but then might be kind of difficult for us to watch. Does anything, a good example come to mind, or maybe something you all have actually reviewed?
Why are you doing this to me, okay? I am on the podcast scared of getting canceled every week. I'm trying to work, okay? Yes, there are other problems. Sometimes there are movies where a black person has to learn about Sam Cooke. It has to be taught how to eat fried chicken, or you may have to go to the bathroom, right? But then the bathroom's super far away, and they play super happy music while you run to the bathroom, which is not cool. It's not too cool.
To be clear, he's talking about.
I'm not saying you names.
No, that's what he said.
No. I'm just saying certain movies it'll be a white person saying you never had fried chicken before.
Yeah, you said best picture winner.
I'm not saying that. So yes, there are movies that people love and that win awards, and we love the actors in them. But then it kind of feels sad because, like Bray was saying, Black folk always get certain parts, and these are the kind of parts we have to take to get the Academy's attention. And it's kind of sad because these are our elite. Our elite actors have to do these parts that we know they're better than, but they got to do it to get on. That's why I'm very happy for Will Smith and people like that who can play. Yeah.
Fellas, it is great. One folks to know, it's called Black Man Can't Jump in Hollywood. It's available everywhere that you can find a podcast. Jonathan, James, and Gerard, I don't want you to get canceled, brother. I want you working. I need to help you out there. Do not cancel Gerard, okay, because of the question. But no, you all have conversations a lot of us have. So this has been really cool. Congrats, fellas, and good to have you here, all right?
Thanks for having us on.
And this programming note, be sure to check out season 2 of the ABC Audible podcast, Life Out Loud with LZ Granderson. Timely LGBTQ plus conversations with celebrity guests like Margaret Cho, Gabrielle Union, and so many others.
Blue and yellow wave washing over America in support of Ukraine. A Stand with Ukraine rally in Times Square, giving Ukrainian Americans and supporters something to do from 6,000 miles away.
My brain is